All right, so now I'm going to elevate the storm structures. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to select just the outer box that we re-elevated. And it tells us what our grade elevation is, top of curb, and then our invert out. All right, so I'm just going to set this to the grade elevation. Okay, so I'm going to do that by going to the change elevation command on the data prep tab. So I'm just going to select that. I got one selected and it's asking for an absolute elevation. So I'm just going to change that elevation at 21.99. We'll apply that. I just did press enter. Now I'm going to come over and pick this one here. And that one also is a 21.99. So I can just go ahead and apply that. And we'll work our way down. We'll pick this one here. That one's 21.21. And I'll apply that one. We'll select this line over here. That one's probably 21.21 as well, which it is. We'll apply that. And then I'm going to come over here and pick this one, which its grade is 2020 or 2090, so 20.90. And then this one here, the rim, so I'll just pick the circle. In this case, rim is 2103. 0.03. Okay. So we've got those structures, and what I can then do is I could elevate these pipes. They go from here to here, and from here to here, which is probably fine. We can elevate it, or we could really just draw from the center of each structure. Going to be totally up to you on how you want to do this, but just for instructional purposes, I think I'll just elevate these pipes. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to just draw in a line from invert to invert to invert. All right, so what I'm going to do, because I want to show you another feature. So just like I elevated my curb line, I could elevate these pipes, but what I'm going to do is, let me see here. I think this is all, it's all 18-inch storm pipe RCP. So if I look at my note and we come down here, there is in my table here, you see, yep, it's all 18-inch. All right, so there's my storm drain table, pipe size all 18-inch, and that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to CAD, line string, and I'm going to call this storm, or we'll just call it 18-inch RCP. And we're going to put it on that layer, that same layer as our pipes. So we're going to go up to our stakeout under storm pipe. And we'll keep all that the way it is, and I'll click apply. So now it's asking me for my coordinate. So now you can see, it's giving me a bunch of snaps. To kind of help with that, I'm going to turn off these layers that I don't need anymore. Okay. And then that gives me a few less snaps, but I want the center of this structure. Okay. So all I have to do is right click and select the centroid. And by doing that, when I pick that object, you can see that it puts that little marker at the center of this square. So I'm going to pick that. It assigns the elevation to the rim. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to change this invert to the invert out for this structure, which is 1850. So I'm going to hit that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the next segment, or after last segment, and I'm going to toggle off the elevation auto advanced. I'm going to right click, centroid, pick this object, and oops, I must have hit that already, so let me cancel that. And this invert here, 1832. I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to add the next one. Okay. And Make sure that's off. I'm gonna hit the centroid of that. It picks up the elevation because it's snapping to the center of this object. So I have to hit cancel on these and make that 17.77. And then we'll just continue. Add another one. Centroid of that object. Hit cancel. And again, just make this. So my invert in is 1749, so that's the bottom, 17.49. And then add after, right click, centroid of that. And because I didn't elevate that square, and I picked the center of the square, which I actually elevated the circle, which is why it's, now it's prompting me for an elevation here. So I'm going to put in the elevation of 17.37. So now if I look at my 3D view, I've got my structures and I've got my pipe. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remove these and simply delete them because I don't need those. I just want the one, and I don't need this. I'm going to delete that as well. Okay. Now I'm going to leave that one because I may need that one later, but really just looking at this main storm run. Now I can also add my line string for my other run here, which is going to be the centroid of this one. Cancel. I'm going to make that out is 18. And then I'm going to come in here, and instead of going to centroid, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to right click, and I'm going to just do end, and you can see that I'm snapping to the end of that line. And then that one should pick up to 1777, which if I cancel, you can see that it does. Okay. So now I've got my line work. Now I can go ahead, and what I'm going to show you next is how to set points so that you could use points to stake out this utility run, or you could use the line and the objects to stake out the utility run. But I want to go ahead and just show you how you can set points fairly quickly, which is why I'm doing this for instructional purposes.